Testing. Yep. Okay, that one's good. And then this one. Okay. Hey.
You have to log back out and back in to like reset the stream key too?
So the thing about it, I think it might be because of the log out and log in instead of stream keys. Because to use my own, I just log in, and it's like a VPN through Twitch. It's like I'm logging into my Twitch through the software. Whereas when I'm streaming on TPK, I have to put in the key because obviously TPK doesn't want anybody other than one or two people having the login info.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason.
Interesting.
But if I would have to, whatever. Not something I have to resolve right now. But I do need to resolve eventually, so I don't have to keep resetting that. But anywho, we're in now. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
We are back once again with session checks notes 39 of Tenements of the Great Rift, Wild Ride. And to put it mildly, some shit went down last time. I will do my best to briefly recap, but of course you guys will have the opportunity to fill in anything that you feel is important or pertinent to include. But we essentially started out with the big fight against Marlos, the wielder of a unique weapon, which we had not actually identified at any point, but recognized that he also used to summon Ogremok, the Prince of Elemental Earth, through the Earth node within the... You know what? It doesn't hurt for you guys to know. It was the Black Geode.
What?
The name of the place is the Black Geode. Yeah,
So
you guys
cool.
had
Oh, there
some
was that theory.
theories, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're kind of at the point where, like, if I know it's a completely useless theory, it doesn't hurt for me to just, like, let you know.
Right.
Cool.
And a bunch of other minions, some of which were summoned by Ogremok himself throughout the fight, some of which were already there. It was the biggest fight we've had so far, easily. Renwick joined us. That was fun. In his full battle gear form and tore some shit up with you guys. But at the point that Whirl took the weapon, Marlos's weapon, and threw it into the Earth Node's portal, it essentially imploded and sucked in the form of Ogremok that we saw, as well as several of the elementals, and imploded on itself, completely closed, destroying the weapon and leaving nothing else in its wake other than the bodies of the people we had vanquished along the way. And then more shit goes down. We can talk about this more because it sounds like there were some questions about who were these things and what does it mean and etc. So anything that comes up, of course, let me know. But for the recap purposes, we had definitely Osiris, which Gert recognized as her, the deity that she, I'm not going to say worships, it's not the right word, is dedicated to. I think that's probably the best way I can put it. As well as several others. Revealing, here's the short list. Renwick is recognized as a good being, despite having gone through becoming a lich. He's repented from his ways and has been rewarded by becoming the Templar, the keeper of time, a gift from Osiris himself, and being charged with the task of helping fight whatever evil plot is happening that required Osiris to go through time looping in the first place to resolve. That's the gist of it. Renwick never had a brother. It was always him. That was the other big reveal for that. Yep, we got some big cries. I had a big cry after all of that. And after that, we kind of started heading out. So is there anything else that you guys want to fill in on recap details, things that we're looking for outside of the list we've already established that I have not yet mentioned?
we found out that the drow are like, I forgot what the specific term was, but it was like,
The Undying
Pardon?
Court.
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that's what it is.
Can't tell them anything now.
Nope.
Yep, can't just can't talk to them at all.
Right.
And now, in character, do you guys know what the Undying Court is, or have we not yet established that?
I sure don't
They
know.
just
I
like,
don't think we established that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like that's
They
what
were
they
just
are.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't say
Okay.
anything. Just stood at the back, and then they were like, "Okay, bye."
But also,
Not that one.
the juice, so to speak, that turns time backwards, is gone because
Yes,
somebody
we are.
stole it.
Out of time.
So we're the last. We're the last ones.
You're the last
The-
time loop.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
Right.
MVD. Also, we do have confirmation that that was Ogremok because the last thing that Marlo said before we started beating the shit out of everybody was, "Today I have Ogremok," and then like he came out. So I would
Yes.
assume it's not Imix.
Yeah, we have to fight another one.
We have
That's
to fight
a-
3 more,
Three
Yeah.
more.
but we have names on all of them now.
And we literally haven't even found the basement of the fire cult yet.
We
I think we found it. We just didn't dig enough to get into it.
By
Perhaps.
the
Is it the
basement, do
place-
you mean the temple?
yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The place to go.
The
We went-
placement.
That was when you guys lowered me into a pit, and then
Mhm.
I started getting hit by things,
Yes.
and then we
exploding
left.
fire imps.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were like, "No,
Yeah.
we're calling it. We're popping you back
Yeah,
out."
and then we left, and that's all we got
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
one. I feel like we've got a good handle on everybody else,
I mean,
a decent handle on everybody else, but like, I don't know what to expect from fire folks.
here's the thing. I think we actually know the most about the fire cult fully based on just like process of elimination. Like we've got 4 weapons. We've seen 3 of them, so we know what the 4th one's going to look like. That one's the fire one. We've got the 4 princes. We've heard the names of all 4 of them and have associated 3 of them, so we know who the 4th one is. We've heard the name Vanifer, and my money says he's like the Gar / Marlowe / Arisi of the fire cults, and I also have a feeling he's gonna have some like weird fucking shit having to do with him. Like,
Mhm.
so no, like so Arisi had wings, and she could fly.
Mhm.
Right.
Gar had the like fucking giant arm clamp, the claw.
The claw.
He didn't do
prosthetic
anything with it, he
claw.
just fucking had a claw, the aesthetic claw. Marlowe's turned something into stone. I just know that I was in the game and then I blinked and then everything changed.
He had like the snake hair. He could,
Yeah.
like-
He was the
Mhm.
Medusa.
Right, but like everyone's got a thing.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that this Vanderfer guy is gonna have some like fuck off thing to do with fire, and maybe we should just really prep ourselves for fire. Because we have that to expect.
This is true.
That's the one thing I'm good at handling is fire.
See, we could just get good at fire.
Just get-
And
Cool.
ladies and
Just get good
gentlemen,
at fire.
the aggressive note taker.
Which is funny. I took pictures of all my notes to try and send to Sam, and my notes are jack shit. I just have like a phenomenal memory.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
phenomenal memory. Anyway,
Uh,
what are we doing?
I think
Who are you people?
I had a hard day.
do we want to check the sarcophagus and see what's in there before we head all the way out?
I would love to,
Yes.
honestly.
Yes. Well, and we also wanted to check in on what's her butt?
Our GD lady whose name we didn't get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
either just like
Dow.
let her know, BT dubs, no one's here to pay you
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
Mhm.
Your money's gone.
Mhm.
And see if she'll help us now.
Yeah, one of your
I-
friends.
I really hope that she doesn't like get mad at us for taking away her payment.
She already had a pile of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get all the monies.
Oh yeah. Hopefully that's enough, right? God,
I've
I
never
don't
seen
want
a
to.
genie's hoard before.
I don't know if a genie's hoard is like a casual thing to see, but that's it. Just but. So,
So yeah, let's make the pit stop there first. And then actually when we walk out of here, let's double check that it wasn't a wraith. What was the like ghost
Oh yeah.
buddy
oh
that
yeah,
was
the
hanging out?
I have a
the
feeling he's
specter,
not
I
here.
think? I think it was a specter.
But like,
Yeah.
a specter apparition guy that told us
He was asking for help, so we should try
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
if he's still there. So let's go into the next room.
Oh, you mean the one that was right here? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yes, that's how close we are. I forgot.
Yes, we literally walk into the next room.
Go for it. You are free to go where you'd like, and start doing / discussing anything else.
Oh.
The doors are open still.
Like just right out here.
I believe this is the one you were talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He's still there, hanging out.
Weird.
Did we go the direction he
Does it-
pointed at us?
Just
Yeah, which direction did he point?
Out
It
this
was-
door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, whoops! I should change this view. There we go.
Is he still doing like the eye track thing where he like just looks, where he's like looking at us as we come in?
Yeah. Focused on Gert as the first person in there.
Do you still need help, buddy?
Just gonna raise its spectral finger the same direction that it did before.
Well, it's hard to help you when we don't have that much information. We'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
just,
we've told more things on less information before. So
we've
True.
yeah. We had-
Remind me what it has said to you to this point. Does anybody have that?
help me, and then he's pointed, and I think truly that's been it.
I think that's like, I don't think there's like a ton of extra stuff that. Yeah.
Okay, that tracks. It says nothing more when Gert
Mhm.
addresses it.
Right, but
Well, I mean, it looked like everything was out, so hopefully it should just be a press, like a button press or switch flip. Hopefully,
Everything else in here has been
I
has
really hope that that's
disappeared.
what it is.
Like everything else in here has disappeared, and he hasn't.
all right. I'm going out the door, and I'm gonna just look around.
So you have this massive column that led up to the temple above that you're familiar with, and then there was a hallway down to the far southeast that you had not gone down before.
All right. I'm gonna go down the hall.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow you. Just yeah, I think we're
Do-do-do-do-do.
just so we don't end up like
Fully separated.
just
Yeah.
gets ambushed entirely.
Oh, there's a door down here.
Ooh.
Spooky doors.
That
Right.
As we-
So I'm gonna go to the door. I'm gonna listen.
High five.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I think I gotta make sure I didn't mix something up. You're good. There's no risk of like having to backtrack or anything, but make sure I got this right. You're listening at the door. Make a perception check while I'm checking this out.
And what do I add to it because of your guidance?
D4.
Woof.
Can we get a 9? Can we get a 9?
Actually, I'm just gonna do this thing.
You just click on the dice in the corner because that's what I
Click
do.
the
Yep.
button.
Yeah, I like clicking things.
Shoot. That is a 1, so I have a 6. That is a 6 on perception.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really hear anything from the other side, and it's really difficult for you to tell if that is because of truly nothing being there, or you might get a moment of paranoia of like, what if something's just sneaky and hiding out? You don't really know.
Yeah. Hey, Iz.
Yo,
Do you have better hearing than I do?
maybe a
'Cause,
little bit. I'll give it a shot.
Because I didn't
High
really
five.
hear anything, but I felt weird about it.
Hmm. Well, we
Didn't
don't like
anything, but
feeling
I
weird.
felt weird about it.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. This perception, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
Perception plus D4.
What's
Okay.
the D4? God
Well,
damn.
Coming in hot, guys.
sick. Got a 9.
9.
Did we just circle around and see how bad we all do listening to this story? Because I'm
Man,
prepping.
I get
I'm just like ready to
fucking
roll
door.
one, guys.
I'm pretty sure I've got the highest, and I'm willing to go last just to see how many
Oh my
times we can do
gosh.
this.
Okay, well, we don't want to run into the issue
know.
of like literally everybody try the same check until we get it right. So
Yeah.
we should cut it off.
That's fair.
there.
Okay.
Oof.
All right. So, well, it felt weird, but this is the only way to go. So, I think I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay.
Yep. And Gert touches the button.
Okay, make a strength check, please.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
I'm not good at those.
It's not
Check
locked.
though, not a saving
You-
throw, so it's not. We're not
Yeah.
dead.
The door
But
is
I'm
not
not-
locked, but it is harder to open than you might expect compared to the rest of the doors in this place.
It's like
17.
Ooh, damn.
Okay.
That was
Uh,
a straight 17 too.
Yeah, there you go. So you do manage the door.
Okay.
And you can hear this grinding as you open it up the first few inches, and then this just complete stone on stone clunk right next to the door as you get it fully open, and this odd looking short hilted warhammer has thudded onto the floor from against the door in front of you.
it was propped there.
Yes.
Like was it like trying to keep the door closed, or was it just like, or did it just fall over?
Well, checking it out further, you'd see that nothing else in the immediate vicinity would have been obstructing the door, so that is a viable conclusion to reach. What else you see in here in the south is that a stone sarcophagus rests in the southern half of this room. A worn frieze circles the monument about 4 feet above the ground, but it has been badly damaged and is difficult to make out what the carvings represent. A frieze is like a Sam. You may actually be able to describe it. better than
Yeah.
me.
So a frieze is like decorative trim almost.
Oh, sure.
Right, but it like tells a story. Like when you see the Greek like story trim.
Parthenon.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's like the top. Again, the best way I can describe it is like decorative trim.
That's cool.
Specifically, that's meant to tell a story. That is
Yes.
exactly what I was for some reason not able to describe. So this sarcophagus is it's like a perfectly rectangular box. And by perfectly rectangular, I mean like the surfaces are immaculate, save for the fact that the like 3 inches of stone making up the slab cover is like shifted off kilter. Clearly, it has been opened. And you can see from where you're standing, you can see like the profile of a humanoid creature, which is pretty normal for stone sarcophagi in this world. But yeah, it's like partially cocked open.
I mean, do we want to look inside? I feel like this is what he's telling us to go to.
I mean, someone else is welcome to touch it.
I'll touch it.
I will. Yeah.
Do you want to touch it together, Taryn? Like push it off at the same time?
Let's figure out what it is, and then I'll also pick up the warhammer off the ground.
I've done enough stupid shit today. I'm not touching this sarcophagus.
That's fair.
That's okay.
That's very fair.
I haven't met my stupid shit quota for the day yet, so.
Oh,
Hey, if
God.
you need help doing stupid shit,
Oh,
I
man.
believe in you, and your Iz is gonna get an inspiration for whatever stupid shit you want to do in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
So you're like pushing it the rest of the way open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, since you're working together, there's no way it's you can both hard fail and still get it open. So inside you would see essentially like a mummified wrapping is what it looks like. It's just like wrappings encasing what you would assume is a body. And several small pouches of, well, closed leather pouches scattered throughout, mostly the corners and one of the edges. And then make a perception check, please.
Both of
Both of you, yes.
us.
It's
Oof.
bad or good. It's
Uh-oh.
bad. It's bad.
Ooh, I got a 50.
Okay.
It's okay. I think we're good.
Taryn, you can see on it, like in the middle of the mummified remains that are wrapped up, you can see an impression very much in the shape of the hammer that's lying on the floor.
That was the one that got knocked over, right? Because I picked that one up as
Yes.
we went over to the sarcophagus. And they're so then I'll look at that and go. I think that this goes here, and I'll just start like reaching the hammer in and trying to like align it with the imprint that was already there.
Maybe he just wants his tools back.
Yeah.
You, can you say that one more time, Taryn?
Yeah, I said that I think I'm just gonna I think that this is just supposed to go back here, and then I'll start putting the hammer in and aligning it with the impression that was there before.
Okay. At the moment that you like get back to the sarcophagus and start to lower this hammer in, you'll all feel this chilling whoosh of air from your north and see the specter arrive at the door and slowly whiffed toward the sarcophagus. He'll stand at the head, and though he has said nothing before, will actually address you. So shines a good deed in times of darkness. The specter will actually lift a now visible leg into the sarcophagus, and then his second, climb in, lie back, cross its arms, and completely disappear over a few seconds. And before you can even break the plane to start entering the sarcophagus with the hammer, Taryn, the top slab slams shut. and the hammer glows, you get this feeling that it now belongs to you. Willfully given.
What?
Guys, I don't know what this means. I think I have a hammer now, guys.
This is a fun hammer
Ooh.
in that as it glows, it's going to stretch and change form. Taryn, what would you like this very special weapon to look like?
Oh,
What?
what?
Cool.
I was not prepared for this. Okay, so
Welcome to D&D.
I think it's gonna like God. So it's a warhammer, right? So like it's about how long is it? Oh, what I can stretches.
The way it started was pretty short. With your perception, you would have been able to see that the body within the sarcophagus was smaller than average.
Mhm.
So, draw what conclusions you might from all of that, but it is now
Gotcha.
shifting to you.
So like as Taryn's like holding it like this, like it would get longer to where it's about the it's a little bit shorter than the length of his arm, and it like half of it is like a wooden grip for him to hold, and then the other half is a like it goes in to like a very shiny steel, and then as like the head comes, like half of it is like it comes to a point like to pierce things with, and then on the other side it is it's more of like it's a square with a spike in the center of the area of the other side of it,
Nice.
and then all along the head are like it's like engraved little stars, and then like a moon on the and then a moon along the like the actual spike on the other side is like carved in the shape of a crescent moon.
Nice. It sounds badass. Okay, so
That would really hurt to get hit with.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
really suck.
So as this hammer finishes forming, the glow dissipates, and all of you feel a burst of slight revitalization. A magical effect has just happened, and you all now have 5 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Yay.
Thanks, Spectre, buddy.
That's pretty cool.
That makes me think we're gonna need them later, which I dislike.
I think we got past the point where we needed them.
Well, that's wicked
Well,
cool there,
that's-
bud.
Yeah.
Nice.
Why is the hammer changing? I don't know what's going on. This is cool actually, and I'll just like attach it to my back next to the shield.
Sick. Nice.
See, this is why we do nice things for people.
I don't think we were ever like in an
This is,
adverse
like,
situation to
It feels
not
like
want to
it's
help
been a while
people.
since we've been, like,
We just
True.
inject chaos wherever we go. That's all.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We can chaotically help people.
Yeah.
It's called friendship, Cal. I'm right next to him
Just
too. so
called
it's
out for
funny.
no reason.
Oh my goodness.
It does feel good to like, get like a direct help instead of like a, do this thing and then it'll help people afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
It's cool. Let's want to go open another sarcophagus upstairs now?
Yes, please.
So much fun.
Let's look at a bunch of dead bodies.
Wee.
Oh, we gotta stop by the genie first.
Yes.
Can't forget that.
Genie lady.
Okay.
So we're going back upstairs.
Yeah.
Back
Mhm.
upstairs, the long trek up several hundred feet of winding stairway.
Can I
Legwork.
can I fly up the stairs?
You
Can I
can-
cat fly on myself and just be like, fuck this noise and fly up the stairs?
You
How many
absolutely can.
flies do I have left? Actually, hold on.
I
I might do the same thing.
think I can.
Just getting it a good
yeah.
leg day walking up these stairs.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll,
I
yeah, I'll
already-
just
I already
just
did
fly.
my flying today.
I'll just fly as high up as I can for a minute, and then I'll walk the rest of the way.
I am
me.
doing the same. Just
Okay.
over it.
Mhm.
All right, let's shift you
I
guys
like-
over here then.
Just like reverse fall.
There we are. Everybody has
What
the
is
right
the,
tokens on the board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does the hammer do? Is it just a regular warhammer? I forgot.
You can tell that it has magical properties, but you have not identified what those are yet.
Gotcha. Cool.
Ooh.
Special. That's cool. I'm very excited.
I'll fly for 10 minutes, so I will just park myself at the top and just wait for you guys.
So,
All right, so we just have to go into this room over here.
yay.
Beanie?
That's my YouTube tab, not my Roll20 tab.
Oh, I like dead bodies.
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing.
It's like it's our
Remember
MO.
this?
It's just dead things.
God.
Uh,
Oh no, it's more.
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a
a
lot.
lot.
a lot. There were a lot of
Yeah,
There were a
you
lot of
did
casualties.
this.
Memories.
Ah, good times.
How fun. I love it. It's so cool.
Should we knock? Can we knock? Is there
Yeah.
even a door here?
Is there? Do we hear like the metal like clanging and moving like we did the first time? Like, is there? Like, do we even hear stuff going
We
on?
stopped hearing that a while ago.
You did stop hearing that, and it has not resumed.
Is there still a door here? Because I kind of just assumed she just like destroyed the door. Like, because she like moved us out.
Yeah, so what you see here is instead of a door, as well as the one you passed in the hallway, instead of a door is just like this, what you could tell was the magically formed stone sort of just across the opening.
well.
Guess knock.
We do something stupid.
Yeah. Can you do something stupid?
So when we were here the first time, like when we were in the culty part of the cult, and we found all those scrolls, I have a scroll that says transmute rock.
Ooh, that's fun.
Ooh.
So I might be able to make a hole in the door if we really care to go inside of it. I think. I don't actually know what transmute rock does because this doesn't set up super great to tell me, but hold please. Maybe?
Holy.
Is there another door in here, or is this the only way in?
There was
Why
like
did
the just hole that like looked into the chasm. So if someone can fly over to the chasm, but I think we all just finished all of our flying shit today.
Oh, I can fly 3 more times. I'm good.
Oh,
if
dope.
we could. Cool.
Let's just
yeah,
do
I'll
that.
just do that.
All right,
So I'll just,
scream at
like-
us if anything bad happens.
For sure. And then I'll just come over here and like jump off over here and then whoosh my way.
Okay.
Like I'll start and I'll just like
Whoosh.
whoosh around. Is it all just
Wait.
a wall now?
Wait, no, that is a mistake. I don't know why
Okay.
that's there. Oh wait, yes, it is. It is wall. Nope.
Okay.
Undo.
So like
It
so,
is
like, I
wall.
would get
It's the
here.
Same, it looks the same as the stone that was formed over the doorways.
okay.
That's
So
what
in
that
that
was.
case I would get here and see that like it is a wall and like it's not even open anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And before jumping off, I would just kind of like turn around and go, well, I was going to, but I can't see anything from over here either. It's all wall back there. There's nothing.
Hmm.
I mean, we might as well try to poke a hole in the rock. I mean,
So,
when
all I
else
can
are
do
we
is-
going to get the opportunity?
I think all that thing does is turns it into mud, which isn't really helpful for us.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
It's mud. If
Is it
it's
there?
mud, we can move it.
It's not like it doesn't turn into a fun mud. It turns into like a mean mud.
Like the kind that like eats your shoes when you step in it.
Like upstairs when when we were in the basement in the hellhole, and they would be
Gotcha.
like, this area is mud now, and also it hurts you. That's what it feels like it does.
Gotcha.
this? The
That sounds
scroll of-
gross.
Transmute rock. Because like I can turn mud into rock or rock into mud.
Pretty cool, actually. Dude, transmutation is so cool.
It
Anyway,
really is. It's very creative. So for out of game player understanding, this does truly just turn it into mud.
Yeah.
All those
so-
extra details are like difficult terrain details,
Right.
but it's not
No,
like
that
it's
was-
gonna turn into a hand that tries to grab you guys or anything like that stuff.
Right, but even still, like us turning just the whole area into mud doesn't feel helpful. And
I
that
see
was
what you mean.
the vocabulary that Whirl had to explain what she knew about it.
Okay,
Right.
Was,
Gotcha.
this is the thing we experienced. This is what this thing's gonna do.
mhm.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
See if there's anything else I can do.
Do we want to send her a message?
do we know? You know what?
Can you
I would
knock
be-
on the door with your warhammer?
God, this might be. You know, this might be up there with like weirdest ideas we've had, but I am down, and I'll just come over and it's like, I want to do like the full swing. I'll be choking like up to the head and just kind of, dink, see what happens.
Are you just knocking, or are you trying to like hit it hard?
I'm gonna give like a firm like hit, but I'm not gonna like be trying to smash in the, smash in the wall.
Okay, what's your passive perception?
High. 19.
19.
It's
Okay.
stupid high.
What's your passive perception? Yes.
Yes, I
All
see
of
the
it?
thing. Okay, so you give it a quick ping, and you can tell that it kind of gets absorbed. Is that the best way to describe it?
Like the sound like doesn't.
Well, the sound is like the second part of it, but like physically the feeling, it feels like you're hitting dirt more than stone. Like the
Okay.
blow kind of just sinks in a tad instead of bouncing right off like it would for like the marble floor beneath you.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else happens.
That's a weird. Yeah, I don't think she's here, and I don't think we'd really be getting in unless we really wanted to kind of force our way in here.
I'm just gonna like shout to the room. like I'm going to shout at the room. Just thought you should know we took away your money train, so you might want to leave soon. Hope you're good. Okay, guys.
Okay,
We're not gonna get anything else. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, bye. Yeah. I don't even know if she's in there, but
Right?
if she is, we did our best to help her out. So let's go find that sarcophagus.
Right.
Let's.
And then we march and sing hi ho from that one movie.
From that one.
Okay, so I don't want to accidentally miss anything, so just to make sure, we're pretty much backtracking straight to the staircase, going up to Sacred Stone. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, real quick, I do want to do one last thing. I want to come out here and ooh, that's the wrong way. Like as we would start to turn around, I'd come out of here and whoosh. Are these still here? Are these bullets still?
They are. They're just kind of
Ooh.
hanging out, wandering around.
Gotcha. So then I would come back and then be like, sorry, I had a thing that I wanted to check. There are still like some things over on the other side. So, but those are like the things that the guys were riding, so this might be their home.
Claudius 2.0. Yeah.
No, we're not liberating any more animals today.
Nah.
These ones seemed a little more grumpy than Claudius was, so maybe we should just let them be. They know how to survive down here.
Yeah, I guess Claudius and Talik were locked up. These ones.
Yeah,
are
they
not,
were
so.
caged. They were caged, world.
I never saw the cages, Gert.
They were caged.
Oh, that's
There's
right.
a-
Only Gert and was it?
I think the rest of us were upstairs. I think it was just
Yeah, the
Gert.
rest of us
It was
were.
just Gert.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were caged. They were caged. These guys aren't. That's the difference.
This is a thing I believe.
So, let's go. I just wanted to check that, see if they were still vibing.
They do be vibing,
They do be vibing.
as the kids say these days.
They're all doing the crab rave emote.
God damn it.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
no,
gonna
I'm
hate
too
it.
old.
You're gonna
I'm
love it.
too old
You're
for
gonna hate
this.
it. We're good.
I'm old.
I'm too old for this.
It's
Oh,
fine.
man.
Yes. Yes.
All I'm
Bless
about
your
to
heart.
know what it is.
Oh no.
Thanks for ruining that for me. Oh, that's terrifying. I don't need that.
So we're leaving.
Yes.
Okay.
We're leaving.
Oh,
Yes, we're going up
This
to
is it.
the actual monastery area level
okay.
and looking at the sarcophagus because other people were trying to get it, so maybe there's something like important
There's
in
still
it.
something there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find. This is the joy of this session. It's like 6 different maps that we may use today.
Yeah.
Woo. I wonder if that's where Renwick was just like keeping his phylactery.
Maybe.
But that also wouldn't make sense because it wasn't there
If
and he
you'll
was
get it.
able to summon it. Disregard my brain.
There's a lot of like, how did this thing happen that I'm still kind of questioning.
Mm-hmm.
You can make checks in game to try and glean some information because this, like, everything is based off of stuff that happens in this world. So it would just be a matter of like, does your character have the background and/or experience and/or knowledge to get information about those things?
Right.
I'm just listening to the crab rave now.
If it wasn't trademarked, I'd throw it in the game right now for a minute. But
Yeah, it is an actual Monster Cat song. That's
Yep.
weird.
It's
But
crazy.
cool.
where is the damn thing?
Yeah,
Here it is.
because it wouldn't make sense for like for the water guys to take
Is everyone else listening to it? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cute.
maybe hypothetically possible.
Amazing.
There's a
It's so
speedrunner
cute.
that I watch that plays this song during a certain segment of Super Mario Sunshine for whatever reason. It's just, he gets to that point and then plays the crab rave. It's great.
Probably does it so often that he uses it for a timing cue as well.
Crab wave.
Oh, yeah, 100%. This is also on Beat Saber, on the official Beat Saber game, and it's fucking awesome.
Excellent.
As it should be. Oh my god.
Okay,
Yes.
we are in Sacred Stone now. Sorry, that took a second.
Okay.
It's okay, we were all crab raving.
We were raving. Yeah.
Getting a vibe check on the way.
Gross.
Okay, so yeah, you're in the familiar basement area in the door that Renwick had unlocked for you, but was unable to enter when you first came down.
Tight. Meow.
Let's go to the
I'm-
sarcophagus. The other one. It's a 2 sarcophagus kind of day.
If you're
It
going straight
sure
there,
is.
I can just drag
Okay,
you guys
yeah.
over there.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just didn't want
Great.
to.
Regroup.
So this is not meant to be a leading thing, but I just want to mention it as a blanket statement. There are a lot of spaces in the places you've been that you have not explored. And I know like some groups, like the one I'm in with my IRL friends, it's like very militaristic. We don't move until we've checked every damn corner of every damn room along the way. This is like polar opposite.
Yeah,
like,
we're all over the place. We're like,
Nothing here.
did it, done.
Point A to point B. Done.
We are not completionists.
Right, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, not meant to be a leading thing, but I'm gonna continuously ask just to make sure. Are you just going straight to the place, just in case that ends
Sure.
up changing at any point in time? So we're over here now. The stone sarcophagus is back in its place. All the other sarcophagi in this area are noticeably closed again from the first time you encountered this place. Some of them opened and some zombies and skeletons had attacked you.
Spooky.
Everything is back in its place and in a rather clean state.
It's really quiet
Shift this
here
over.
now that he's not living here anymore. It feels different.
I'm gonna try and suppress that and not think about it, because it's just gonna make me too sad.
Yeah, want to help me get the thing open again?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right.
I'm taking 2 steps back because no.
All right.
And actually, that's way too close to those. I'm gonna stand over here.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Push.
Yeah. Did it.
Okay, so
Like a second of like, wait, is this right? We don't. Is this okay? Should I be doing this?
Too late now.
you give a good shove at the very top of this stone box, and it doesn't budge one bit. Taryn, at the very least, what's your passive perception?
13.
Okay, that's still good enough. You'd immediately notice, after failing horribly at being able to do anything about this sarcophagus, that it's actually a solid stone box.
Oh, fuck.
There's no lid.
Ooh.
Huh.
What does the top look like?
It's got the words
Mm-hmm. You're good.
profile of a knight that looks very similar to Renwick's armor.
Hmm.
Can
Can I, like, hit it on the side to see if it sounds hollow or if it just sounds like solid fucking stone?
Sure, make a perception check.
Tight.
High five.
Oh, well, hey,
Ooh.
here's
Oh,
a
that anyway.
D4.
Nice.
Just in case.
25.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just a box.
You
Kind of what I'm thinking.
would have a very hard time being able to tell for sure, but you could swear that for whatever reason, this is probably just solid stone.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, I'll like put my ear up to it and like give it a good whack and listen. Yeah, no, there's nothing. It's just solid block of deception. That's what
It's
that
just-
is.
So
Lack of deception. Is there anything magical about it?
Are you doing anything to try and detect? Or are you
we
just
can
going
sit.
for
We
like
can.
general arcana check?
We can sit here for 10 minutes and find out for sure.
I mean, yeah, I could do that.
Ooh,
I could
and
identify it and it'll tell me if it's anything but rock.
I was gonna add, like, I could do my detect magic and be like, hey, there is magic coming from that thing, and then that would like tell us for sure. And then we wouldn't like, because if it's not, then we just like, I don't know.
I'll kind of check it because that'll like save us the 10 minutes either way.
Yeah. Okay.
I can help you with that if you would like.
Great.
Do
I
some
don't
like
know.
juju fingers.
You
or
want a high
something.
five?
Sure.
Okay, so that's what Whirl's doing. Is anybody doing anything else?
I'm gonna look at the hammer. I'm gonna check out the hammer a little bit, see what that's doing for the
Nice.
for the 10 minutes.
Okay.
18.
Taryn, you can feel a sort of almost pull toward the top of the sarcophagus when you are checking out your hammer. Whirl, what was this check for?
To see if it was magic. If there was anything magic about the sarcophagus.
Yeah, you're
General
getting a general like tension in the air around you that you would know is familiar with the lasting effects of a spell of some kind. But it's faint.
Yeah, there's
Hey.
something.
Hey, the hammer is pulling a little bit.
Excuse me.
It's,
That's weird.
It wants to go to the box.
Do we hit the box with the hammer?
Should I hit the box with the hammer?
I mean, give it a love tap. Why not?
I'm staying back here.
How hard?
Fuck
How
it.
hard should I hit the box with the hammer?
Thanks, Cal.
I am not strong enough to even contemplate helping with that. So best of luck there, buddy. I'm here for moral support.
I just,
Fuck
if you
yeah.
could please not hurt yourself, because I so fucking don't have that in me today, and you're gonna get bardic inspiration. Taryn.
Thank you. Fuck. You know what? All right. Stand back, I guess. You know what? We're all right. I'm gonna take a deep breath. I'm gonna do a wind up, and then I'm just gonna take it overhead and then just smash it right down on top of it, right on top of the armor.
Okay. Everyone except Taryn, please remove your headphones for a minute.
Oh no!
God.
Hey Taryn, how you doing?
I am terrified. This is awesome, though.
Yeah. Okay. At the moment of impact, a couple things are going to happen. You're going to notice just before the hammer strikes that your strike is sort of going directly toward a symbol and blaze it on the chest of this armor. It's the symbol of Tyr. And at the moment of impact, you'll see this like bright flash of light, and you will end up in this complete void of white light around you. Sitting directly in front of you is a stone-spiked throne that sits 100 feet tall. And sitting in it is a red-robed, devilish-looking figure with a great staff flaming in his hands, looking directly at you. He's got this clean black goatee. He's got two massive horns coming out of his temples and arcing into a space in front of his forehead. And his eyes are pure fire. He's going to just look at you for a second before giving you a smirk.
Embrace the madness.
And then you are shot out back into your current view. That is not the cue that we talked about.
Mhm.
The cue we
Right.
talked about will be coming, but that's what happens. Everybody else
Okay.
can put your headphones back on.
That was a put your headphones back on.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Woo.
So, with that, we're going to go to a quick break.
Oh my god.
God damn.
Danger. Danger.
Wee woo. And
Oh my god.
I'll let Logan process that for a minute before we get to what happens next. So we'll be right back.
Crap.
Whee!
Emotional damage.
Emotional
much.
damage. Oh, I should get that as like a GIF to just pop up on the stream every once in a while. I wonder if I
Absolutely.
can do that without getting. In
I
trouble.
finally saw like the actual original video, and the whole thing is so funny.
It's so funny.
Oh.
That guy is like so
Yeah,
good.
It's just nuts.
So
I love
good.
it. Love it. Okay, so we are back now after giving Taryn some time to the IRL Taryn to process a little bit of what just happened as he smacked this stone slab that contains the profile of Renwick's armor. And what the rest of you will see is that at the moment of impact, it kind of looks and sounds like a quick zap of electricity happened, like emanating from the point of impact through the hammer onto Terran, and he like freezes for half a moment, but then is able to recoil immediately after.
Sharon, you good?
I turn around and like my face and like everything that was like that light blue is like now like all splotched and like mixed with this reddish orange. Like one of my eyes is like almost on fire, the other one is as it is. I don't know. I think I met my dad.
What? Hang on. What does that mean?
I don't know. And like
Uh.
I'm just shaking. My hands like are barely able to hold the hammer. Like I just take the hammer in one hand and like I just drop it and just like fall down to my knees and just guys, I don't know.
Okay. So,
I go down to him and kind of like hug him. I try to like brush whatever like hairs in his face or like
Just everywhere.
put his eye out, like put the fire in his eye out.
Just like blowing on it.
Hey, so okay. So you say you think you met your dad. That's great. I'm so glad. No, it's not
I don't
great.
know.
Okay.
I'm scared. Very scared.
Okay. Why? So why are you scared, bud?
The whole. Listen, I don't know how many like devil people all of us have seen combined, but when the horns are like that big, and then he smirks it like he had a big staff and he like smirked at me and
Oh, I fully thought the horns were just like they grew as you aged thing. Is that not how the horns work? It's not like
I
a
think
it's not like a
this
hair
is-
situation.
this is like as big as
Oh.
mine are supposed to get.
That is information to me.
Okay.
how did this happen? You just like smacked a hammer on a giant chunk of stone and somehow met your dad. Like, is this?
I mean, people here have met their dads in weirder ways.
This is fair. This is
Yes,
That is
why
very
are
fair.
all your family members down in these catacombs?
No, fun fact.
That is a good question, honestly, which we have not visited quite yet.
Taryn and like will actually chuckle. I hit it and then like it was it was just a flash, and then he was just sitting on a tall, a tall, like super tall chair, like a throne. And then he had like a little staff, and it was like glowing at the top, and then he like, I don't know if it was in another language. It could have been. I wasn't really like in the moment. It might have been. But
Go ahead.
he told me to. He said to embrace the madness, and that's where I popped out, I guess.
Okay. Well, while I appreciate that we should look to our elders at times, we just need to remember that he is the side of you that you have been trying your whole life to move away from.
I know. Why? Sorry, I'm piecing together. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying. He might be your dad, but we're your family now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a deep breath. Let's get out of these caves. Let's get into some light. And we'll just move past this.
Just why now? Why when I'm? Because I know. Never mind. I have an idea. Hold on. Can somebody else say stuff? I'm checking something in the translated tomophones. So just so I can. So
oh shoot, that hasn't been translated in a bit.
A minute.
Oh, it's
sorry about it, y'all.
It's fine. I just gotta. I think it's something that's a ways back, so it should be fine.
Do we want to go to Renwick's room and just like pay our respects? Say thanks. High five the air. We're like right here.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would be down for that.
Organize his favors.
Yeah, kind of sweep up a little bit.
Some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that when future or past him has to come back here, then we can be like, hey, your room is ready.
Didn't you want to take something from the room too, or weren't we going to?
We were workshopping, looking for the book, but it sounded like that some people weren't comfortable actually removing items from the room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can still look for it and just read it in the room.
Who knows if he's ever even going to come back, though? At least that space in B. Renwick.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's gone. He's not Renwick anymore. But also, he's our friend. So I think, especially with how much help he has been to us, I mean, in future and past.
Just weird. Weird.
I think he would be okay with us taking what we need.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go back and pay our respects, but also if we see anything that looks important, And also, we don't want other people to get his stuff because he was our friend, not theirs.
Perfect.
I like this justification very
Yep.
much.
Spinning that wheel of justification. And it landed on Finders, Keepers, Losers, Weepers spell.
No, it landed on he would have willed us this stuff.
I mean, he would have. Yeah.
If he didn't have a spiritual awakening at some point, you know.
I have a big question.
You have a big answer.
I don't think anyone
Yeah.
has an answer for
Yeah,
this
like-
right now, but
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. Just there's just a lot going on. Just a lot.
What's your question?
I don't know that it's important right now.
Everything's important right now.
Everything
Literally
is
everything we do is
important.
the most important thing in the world.
Well, I think I already mentioned it, but I thought that when Renwick helped me out with like getting all these cool powers and stuff, that he was the one that I was making a deal with. Very clearly he was not.
Right.
Mhm.
So considering there's now this like
I think I know where you're going, but I want you to say it anyway.
no, it just yeah, considering like I don't know. There's this whole court of gods of the dead and stuff, and we're like, how dare he do this stuff that goes against all natural order and stuff, and that's kind of my whole thing now. So I feel like I'm in the wrong a lot, and I don't know how to parse that. So,
Wait, why do you think you're in the wrong? Just because like some like creepy asshole snuck into your brain and gave you powers?
I mean, that and the explicit powers themselves are like going against the natural order of things a little bit. So, just slightly concerned with that. I don't want to piss off a god or anything, so like, here we are.
I mean, I understand that, but I also feel like Renwick went against the natural order of things and like fully fucking redeemed it by fighting the bad guys. And I
Yeah.
also feel like, from what I am understanding, we are fighting the bad guys.
Truth.
Yes.
And
Okay.
And he trained you.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're not immortal, are you? Like you are not.
No.
You,
No,
you
I'm-
aren't the same thing that he is.
I am a person. I am still a person. Just trained with a super cool lich who taught me cool like rogue shit to like be all cool and sneaky and like sap into some cool stuff. Simultaneously, also struck a deal with someone who I thought was him. It's not. I don't know who it is.
If
Could it
So,
be Karen's dad?
oh, what if it was?
I mean,
Hey.
I'm sure, I think that the gods would understand being. Oh, I didn't hear what happened. I didn't hear that. That cut out.
oh, I said, what if her patron is your dad?
I mean, that'd be cool. Keep it in the family, I guess.
He's right here. He's like, I'm pointing right here. He's at the sarcophagus.
No,
He's not
don't
at
point.
it. He's like at it.
Don't point.
Don't point.
Because it's rude to point. I'm gonna point. Just keep pointing.
I'm just. Wait. Damn it. Now, okay.
I'm adding more shit to the board now.
Yes.
Oh,
Adjustments must be made.
my dad was a human. It was an accident. Why? Why is this happening now?
What?
Huh?
What does that mean? Dad was human. It was an accident. What?
Oh, tieflings are just like, random.
Yeah.
It just happen. So
So maybe he's like your grandpa or like your uncle.
relative
Maybe?
somehow,
Yeah.
but
Second cousin twice removed.
Yeah.
maybe that. Yeah, Uncle, fucking rhubarb. I don't know. I'm having a crisis.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the party. It is. We are in the crisis corner, and we are chilling. It's gonna be
you know,
okay.
This is pretty cool.
Well, let's go see our dead
corner,
friend's room.
But to your point is, God damn it. I think that if you made a deal with something and didn't mean to make the one that you did, that would probably be forgiven or context would be applied in some way. I don't think that you...
Fair. Not to be held liable for the cool, undying shit that I have been granted because doing good things with it.
Wait a goddamn minute.
Okay.
Wow.
Language.
Tense.
I don't know what's going on. Is it a god? Is it a devil? I don't know. We'll find out at some point, hopefully.
Sick. Sick.
Big ol' theory, and it's stupid.
The
I'm excited about it.
I'm a firm believer that no theory is stupid, especially coming from you, because you've hit some.
you've hit some.
And I'm gonna keep it to
bangers.
myself so I can just scream I knew it in 2 months.
I have a feeling I have the same theory, so well,
Dope. We'll check notes after
So-
this.
sick.
I'm not
You don't
giving you
think-
any more ideas.
You don't think Mr. Orcus is the guy that snuck in, do you?
Fully yes.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
100% it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be, honestly.
Cool.
What do you mean
Yeah.
by the guy that snuck in?
Mr. Orcus is the guy that snuck, like for the pact that is made.
Ah, got it.
I've had that thought for
Mhm.
a while.
A
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
There's some very key words that have been used.
hmm
And
I have
We know
fully
those are
forgotten
please.
who Mr. Orcus is.
he's
Oh, he bad.
He's the Prince of Undeath, the dude with the
Yeah.
It's
the
a
presence
whole-
of undeath, yeah.
yeah, he's a bad guy.
Okay.
Oh, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if my notes. I don't even know how much he's in the notes. That's how fucking my brains. But we'll figure it out.
Oh god. Should we go to Renwick's room?
Yeah.
I need to get some different scenery.
Yeah, let's get to familiar territory.
Exactly. These stairs, right? Oop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is everybody going
grouping up.
together, or is anybody hanging back
yeah.
/ doing anything different?
I think we're all going together.
Okay.
Oh, the sarcophagus didn't break or anything, did it? It just zapped me, and then that was it.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you still have the like multicolored squishiness?
Yeah, and it's like all like jaundicey.
So you look like your dice.
Yes, I am. I have turned into my dice at this point.
Excellent.
Amazing.
All right, here we are in Renwick's messy study, I think is the best thing to call it.
Mm-hmm.
With the desks strewn about, all sorts of materials and papers and containers all over the place, still scattered in the familiar messy way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just help clean up a little bit. Like,
Keep an eye out for the book.
yeah.
But religion's book, wasn't it, Taryn, that you were looking for?
I wanted specifically the stuff about Tyr. I think I'm gonna put this one back, and then I'll pull out the more broad religions book that I borrowed from him earlier.
Cool. Yeah, I'll just like pick a table and start kind of like trying to organize stuff and sweep, dust and
Okay.
things off of it.
I'll come over here and start cleaning, doing that area.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go into the room and see if maybe there's anything in that, like, he had that cabinet that he gave us stuff out of.
Yes.
And also, I'll make his bed.
Do you have an accounting of the things that he gave you out of this cabinet?
Yes.
Open
Viciously
notes.
flips open
I
notes.
did at one point, but I am not able to find it. I apologize.
I have it. I know. There were spell scrolls for I think 3 of us. Gert got a potion. Gert got a healing potion. Cal got a hill giant strength potion or some sort of strength potion. Mine was Silac Snowball Swarm. I believe Iz's was invisibility. I do not remember what Terran's is.
Yee.
That's not reading anything. That's just my brain.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
I know it's a problem.
Did I get a? No, that's a. Whatever it is, I already used it. So.
Yeah, I already
Was-
used mine, I
I
think.
think yeah. Then I think
Okay.
yours might have been papers. Yeah, I didn't actually. I did not write it down.
A paper.
Okay, so
Mine was a paper.
I literally wrote mine
cross-referencing
down.
what I'm generally remembering against what Whirl just rattled off. I think we're good.
Mhm.
So Whirl, as you are sort of ruffling around cleaning things up, you would notice quite easily one small shelf, like near the bottom. And by small shelf, I mean like the shelves are kind of evenly spaced until the very bottom, where it almost just looks like one with like I had one more board, I needed to shove it in here, kind of thing. But there's like a 2-inch gap between that bottom shelf and the actual floor, where a small necklace and a piece of paper with like roughly noted handwriting sit.
I'm gonna grab them.
Okay. And then for the rest of you, it's all familiar sight, everything I've described before. Alchemical components, some small pieces of like gems and stones and dust and plants, some dried, some seem actually kind of fresh. Beakers and other like glass vials and tubes, and like random notes about happenings in the general vicinity of each set of materials.
I was gonna grab, like, I was gonna try to clean up some of his alchemy stuff, but then take like, again, what I think might be useful, but also with the thought of, oh, maybe Braylon could
Mhm.
use some of these things to make something a little more advanced.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say maybe grab some stuff that we could take back to the academy.
Okay. This is definitely one of those scenarios where I very much favor the narrative and intent over random chance. So I'm not going to make you guys roll like investigation checks or anything like that, especially because you're like not in a hurry or being attacked by anything or anything along those lines. So you have plenty of opportunity to be thorough and careful. Gert and Taryn, you're going to find between the two of you the full alchemical recipes for potions of greater healing and potions of hill giant strength.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's so cool. Hold on, I'm gonna put that in my items so that it's easier to find.
And these are like the
recipes.
what is the
right?
other word for that? Is there a different word for like the potion recipe? Recipe's like food.
I mean,
I think recipe is like.
there's a recipe for disaster, so like I think it works.
We'll just call it recipe. Yeah. So potions of greater healing and potions of hill giant strength.
Recipe for greater healing. Boop. Backpack. And then. If I could spell, that'd be great.
In the papers that you guys find,
Would we be able to gather all the
oh, wait.
Turn Zoom caught up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was just gonna say, look for papers that say stuff about time.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, will we be able to gather all of the ingredients, and then I would also look for extra notes about weird things going on.
Okay, for that you would definitely need to make an investigation check.
For sure.
And Whirl,
You have an inspiration though.
As you say that, having another glance at the piece of paper with handwritten notes that you've discovered, time stop with a question mark.
Fuck.
Is it okay? Whirl is your. Is
The
it a
D8.
D8? Okay.
I think it's
Woo,
gonna go
shit.
up soon.
Dirty 20, baby. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Inspiration's the fucking best.
So good. I love it.
Finally,
Okay,
like
so-
we've not used one of these successfully in like 3 sessions, and I was like feeling it. So I'm happy now.
That was good. Thank you very much.
So, Taryn, what exactly were you looking for again?
First thing I was looking for was like the ingredients that the recipes had, or whichever one that I had, so that I could gather them, to take back.
Okay.
And then the second one was like other notes that would talk about weird happenings in the area around the time that like we were assigned to do so, like to look for stuff.
Okay. So I need you to write a couple things down. This is going to help me out either during a break or between this session and next, depending on when and how things happen. First of all, roll a d2.
Ooh, okay.
This is flipping a coin, but rolling a d2 and roll 20.
Boop. 2.
Okay. You are able to successfully, among the scattered mess of everything that's happening, you're able to find all of the alchemical ingredients for the potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Mm-hmm.
So I need you to write down and help me remember all the components of one potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Oop, hold on, I can do that. I need to find the item that I just put it in, but I can do that real easily. Bro, where's my backpack? There it is. Hill Giant Strength. Okay.
Okay, and then I'm sorry, I already forgot. What was the second thing?
That was the first thing I got.
You were looking for 2 things?
Weird stuff
and then
that happened.
And then the weird stuff. Yeah.
If there's any notes about it.
Weird stuff
Around
that
like the
happened.
time that we were like supposed to be looking for stuff. Like like when we first got assigned to the investigation, what was like anything going on in between those points, etc., etc.
right. Okay, so like a journal type of thing.
Right. Yes, that's a word. Journal.
So you would, after scouring everything you possibly can and finding all of the components, the alchemical components that you have, there's not one point that you notice any sort of like journal or personal accounting of events or things going on. It's all, I'll say, business.
Gotcha.
The experiments on potions and spells and scrolls, that sort of thing. Nothing else.
Hmm. So it's all like his work. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then I'll just like. My bad. I just blew into the microphone.
That's
The. I'll still take all the other notes and provide them to the and like essentially present those to like the people at the academy, and I'll just take all those so that I can do that later. Even though we couldn't find any of the stuff that we were like any of the any notes that we were particularly looking for.
That wasn't a question for me, right? It was like just a statement for the group, or was there a question for me?
Yeah, that was like that's what I was doing. There wasn't
Okay.
like a question. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I'm just cleaning,
Yeah.
organizing.
Mending on anything broken and sad in here.
Okay. So I think the last thing of note really is going to be, Whirl, you'd see that the bed in the southern edge of this room is like immaculately made. and
Right, because he
just
never slept.
covered in dust.
So blow all the dust off of it.
Yeah, everything else is like this mess of disorganized use and overuse and overuse, in general disorganization. But the bed is just like it's never been touched. You said you wanted to clean that up a bit.
I mean, if there was anything to clean, I would still go over at it. I mean, he probably didn't sleep.
A thorough film of dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look under it just in case.
For anything in particular, or just like
Just see if there's anything. Not really. Like I just if it's fully immaculate. Is that like it? I know he didn't sleep, or I'm assuming he didn't sleep and never used it. But part of me is also like, is that just the weird thing in the middle of the room, and I need to check the rest of it.
Gotcha. There is nothing under the
All
bed.
right. Okay.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So what's next, gang?
Yeah, where did we want to go?
Going back to Red Larch.
Yeah, back to
Do
Red
a
Larch.
quick
We
check-in.
group. Maybe try and talk to the academy.
Mm-hmm.
Check in with all our peeps.
Yeah.
Tell the drow nothing.
Nothing.
Cool.
I think that's it. Right?
But like, how much of nothing? Like, are we not even gonna tell them that we did a thing? Like,
I mean-
should we let the constable and the drow know that like we got rid of one of the big weapons? We know how to get rid of them, sort of.
That feels like that's information that we can share. Just
Yeah,
the
I
fact
think
that they
that-
end up as the
But like,
undying
but
court.
like,
Nah.
we
No.
can't talk about like the gods that we
Right.
met at all.
Right.
I don't
Right,
think
anything-
so.
Don't bring
Anything after getting after everything getting sucked in should just not be mentioned.
that up. Right. Cool.
Yeah, everything after
Thank you.
the portal, I think, was what we landed on last time. Was
I
once the weapon went in.
just don't want to let something slip that I'm not
Yeah.
supposed to say. So
If you need me to lead on talking, I can do that.
that
If you're
would
worried about
probably
saying
be,
something,
that would probably be best.
dope.
I might keep my mouth shut on that one.
All right.
So yeah, we're going back to Red Larch.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
So I'm legitimately not remembering. How did you get here?
We were dropped here by people from the
Yeah.
academy. We were like, can you guys just like
Teleport
pop
it.
us in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
We-
not capable of happening right now, as far as we are aware. So my
So
assumption
we
is
have
we
to
just
walk
in.
We
back.
gotta walk home.
That's okay.
Right.
We can have some
Okay.
outside.
So we're gonna
Yeah,
end
get
up
some
here.
fresh
I think we need some outside.
Oh God. Yep.
Breathe. To some space to
Mhm.
breathe.
This is where we're gonna end up. Okay, awesome. So that being the case, it is. You can see from the sun setting in the distance. It's basically dusk. So you have about maybe an hour of starting to trek before it is like dark / time to either risk exhaustion or turn in for the night.
Mhm.
Is there anything in particular you'd like to do?
I mean, we could get like through the weird tiny chasm and like get at least that far out.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
that way we wouldn't have to worry about it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, since we're outside and we're walking, hey Cal, can I like borrow you to do something stupid? Not really stupid, I just want to test something. So I think I can control
Okay.
the weather.
Ooh.
And what I wanted to do was see if your pocket watch knows that I'm controlling the weather. Does that make
Ooh.
sense?
Okay.
So like, because I know it was I want to say you thought it was being weird, and we weren't really sure why it was being weird, and so I wanted to know if I do a magic on the weather, does your pocket watch know it's doing a magic or does it like just actually tell you what the weather is doing?
Well, as a control, I will check my pocket watch right now.
Cool.
Okay. And that is weather for the next 24 hours, right?
No, it's it's an 8-hour concentration spell.
Well, sorry, Cal's pocket watch.
Oh, his. My bad.
Yeah, for me, let me go back to it. Where is it? Here we go. Yes, next 24 hours.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when you open it up, you'll see a small white orb with a second not far away from it. These would depict the two moons. And over a few seconds, you'll see like an occasional little cluster of clouds. And then after a few more seconds, you'll see a light rain, like a drizzle. And then back to sunlight, leading into the dusk of the next day.
All right, and I'll snap it shut and wait for the magic to start.
All right, let's do this, gang. So I'm gonna pull out my zither, and I'm going to cast Control Weather. And so how it works is I can change like precipitation, wind, and the temperature by like a level every X amount of minutes. It's like a D4 times 10 minutes is how long it takes like for the change to happen. So I guess my first question is, what is the weather like right now?
Right now, it's pretty damn near crystal clear.
Great. Then what I will start to do is make light clouds appear. Which will take 40 minutes.
Okay.
And you'll see her eyes start to get a little bit cloudy as that happens.
Nice. Storm vibes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get real. And then I guess we wait until the clouds show up and then see if his thing changes. I don't know. I'm not good at science.
Well, we're kind of winging it with this anyway because this is happening over the course of like 10 minutes, right?
40, because it's the D4 times 10 minutes is how long it takes like for each
I see.
thing to occur, and then it continues, but it takes that long to change like each level.
You have 8th level spells already?
You gave me a zither that gave me this spell.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
I did not do this by myself.
Okay.
You handed me the knife.
I did. I do not regret.
Maniacal DM cackling.
Oh, okay, 1d4. Okay, now
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see it.
I have it very like heavily written down, so I know what I'm doing about it.
Okay, so over the course of 40 minutes, that's what it takes for you to like actually make the clouds happen. And
Right.
Are you making anything other than clouds happen? I missed it.
So I can only do one. I'll do a light wind also, which obviously her wind's gonna kick up more.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's easy.
Cal, are you like closing and then rechecking the thing at certain points, or are you like keeping it open and just seeing if anything changes? What's your approach to observing here?
I mean, I think that would depend on my understanding of the spell or whatever's happening. So if it was shared that the spell went off,
Mm-hmm.
from the player perspective,
Mm-hmm.
if there was the knowledge shared that the magic went off, but it was going to take some time, I would check sooner than that.
Cool.
Because the idea would be that the pocket watch would then predict that the weather that I had seen is now changing. Does that make sense? Like it's
Mhm.
predicting the future of that. And so I saw one thing in the future. Now this is going to show me something different almost immediately. But I would have to know like how that spell works and stuff. So if that information was shared with me, then yes, I would, after like 5 minutes, I would open up the pocket watch again to check what has changed.
And yeah,
Okay.
I would have shared that with you of like it's going to take some time while it like takes some time for the change to affect, but this is how this thing works.
Okay, so Cal, apologies if this would have impacted things in the past, but what should be known, and what will be known from this point forward at least, is you'd know that because it takes an action to use this, and you see the next 24 hours of weather in that action, we're going to use the 6-second rule. You would see the next 24 hours of weather predicted in the course of 6 seconds. And then my addition to this is going to be, if you just kept it open, you would see it on a loop every 6 seconds.
Cool.
But if you were to like close it and then open it again, it would basically start from the beginning, like the next 24 hours starting with right now.
Yeah, I think I would close it because I want to make sure that like it's reset
Okay.
so that I can like open it up again and look at what's happening.
Okay. So after 40 minutes, Whirl progressively creates this these clouds. And Jesus Christ, I already asked this. I already forgot. Are you
Okay.
making rain happen or a storm or just
No,
the clouds?
I'm not doing rain.
Okay.
A little bit of wind,
Wind and
and
clouds.
just wind and clouds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anybody else doing anything during this 40-minute span?
I also figured we're walking because as long as I'm outside, I can do it like consistently for 8 hours.
True.
I would do as much attuning as possible to the Warhammer.
Okay. So Terran is officially 100% occupied. Is Gert anything else happening for you guys?
No, I'm just
Um,
walking. Because reading and walking is dangerous.
Good call.
See, I was gonna try and read and walk, and seeing Gert like kind of pull the book out and be like, no. And be like,
Can't have two people
all right,
doing the
you know,
same
that's
thing.
kind of smart.
Yep.
We
Okay,
can
you
tether
listen to
ourselves to the person in front of us and just like walk around
Have
obstructions.
a reverse leash.
Yeah.
You can listen to my Six Zither music right now.
Hell yeah, I'll just vibe out to that. There you go.
Okay, so then Cal, one more question. Did you say that you were opening the pocket watch again at the point that Gert told you, like, ready? Or were you, like, doing it progressively along the way?
So based off of what we shared, Whirl would have told me like this is how this spell works.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a knowledge that it was going to take some time, I was going to open it back up after like 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
So not when the weather effect is visually seen to us, because the idea is that we're trying to test if the pocket watch can predict the magical changes like ahead of time.
Right.
Correct?
Gotcha.
So I am opening it up much sooner than that to see if it will then predict whatever the changes she is making now.
Gotcha. Okay. So at the 10-minute mark, when you open it up again, you'll see at first what it started with before. Just the clear skies leading into a brief amount of rain, leading into the next day, and dusk being clear. But then it's going to, like, after just 1 second, it'll, what out of game we would describe as visually glitching. Like, it'll blip. And instead of the perfectly clear sky that you see for the next few seconds, you're going to see a few more clouds than before sort of float across the little purview of this hologram-ish thing that you're seeing, and they'll be flying past pretty quickly.
Ooh.
And then it'll blip again and again, and like within the second blip it'll be like rain, heavy rain. But then the third blip, it'll be completely clear. And then it'll blip again and then go back into its original state.
I'm not sure if it's you, but something does seem to be happening here.
I mean, I am working on the changing of the weather. I want to make it a little bit cloudier. Does the thing say that it's going to be cloudier than it did before?
It's kind of going all over the place right now, but
Okay.
I do believe that means you are affecting whatever it is showing me.
Cool. Okay. I just wanted to make sure your thing was still working. I know it was weird there for like a bit. Okay. I don't even need to keep playing this anymore. Unless we later want to make some other weather change and I could just hold it steady for the next amount of time until I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So. That's all.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was neat.
So much power. Haha. Should not have been given to me.
Okay, so the
The power of the sun in the palm of your hand.
excellent reference. The extra 20 minutes, I'm just gonna hand wave. Taryn, you are able to attune to the dwarven thrower that you now possess.
What?
Neato.
Dwarfs, man.
Dwarven thrower. Ooh, it's purple.
That's pretty
Like
neat.
it knew.
Pretty neat thing.
What? Whoa, that's cool. Hold on. Let me get a. Okay. Oh, it looks super cool too, but that's not what mine looks like.
I added the extra flavor that it morphs to the form that the wielder desires.
That's
Love to see it.
So, can I ping? I'm just gonna read the cool parts.
Absolutely.
So it's a +3 Warhammer.
Nuts.
What?
It has the Throne property and has a 20/60 range.
Ooh.
Okay.
When I throw it, it deals an extra D8, or if the target is a giant, it does an extra 2D8,
That's cool.
and then immediately flies back to my hand. It's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
Did you
Whoa.
catch my brief allusion to Thor's hammer in my
To
original
Thor's
description?
I did. I was like, interesting.
Yup.
And
That's
that's
really
why that's why it was stuck against the door, because it was trying to go back to the specter.
Right.
That's
I mean,
sick as
that's
hell.
what that's what I'm
That's actually
imagining.
what it was.
Oh my God.
Like
That
other,
makes
other
so
things
cool.
involved to why it was not in the sarcophagus in the first place, but yeah.
That's dope.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Okay. So with that, I think now's a good opportunity for us to take another brief break. Restroom refills, all that jazz. We will be right back.
Cool.